game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Buck.
TAMPATONESS. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell are y'all? Sunday fun day. Sunday morning, and it's like Christmas Eve because guess what? Football tomorrow is back for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's been a long 6 months, and now we're at about 6 weeks, but we've had about 6 months since our last football game, and now we got 6 weeks until our next real football game. But the fun part is, J-Lo, guys like me and you, us armchair quarterbacks over here, we have about 6 weeks to podcast, dissect the team, watch preseason, joint practices, training camp as Bucs rookies officially report to training camp tomorrow. I'm TAMPATONESS here alongside the great J-Lo. J-Lo, how you feeling? Football's back pretty much, kinda, almost, but regardless, football is back, my friend, and I'm very excited.
You and me both, man. Are you feeling kind of Sunday, man? I'm getting that kind of feeling again, man. I'm excited. I can't, like I said, all kinds of stuff's happening the last couple of days, hearing news, let's do it.
And we got our great contributor, our great friend of the shows, Richard, saying good morning, y'all. Good morning to you, Richard. Top of the morning to you. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. So, J-Lo, some teams have had the wheels in motion a little bit, mainly rookies reporting to this point. A lot of teams separate the rookies and the vets. We talked about it on our last program. If you guys missed it, it is available on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. You could search us on YouTube or Facebook at Bucs Life News. But we talked about it last week, how we like the rookies reporting before the veterans. Tomorrow, the rookies do report, J-Lo, so they're only a day ahead of time with the Bucs as our vets report Tuesday. But what say you on rookies reporting tomorrow? Do you think that one day to give them, kind of a little push and get used to things a little bit is helpful? I know we talked about it last week, but kind of to reiterate, I am a fan, even though it's just a day, of our rookies showing up a little bit early.
Oh, yeah. I mean, break them in, breaking the rookies. I'm just excited to get them in the building. I think we got some key contributors for this upcoming season with like the first 4 to 5 picks, if you ask me. But I'm really excited, can't wait to see them walking in. The Bucs are going to pretty much do like a little welcome video, all that stuff when they're all walking in the building, reporting for training camp.
Yeah, and the Bucs have great social medias. The Bucs have a lot of cool things. So I'm ready for all that to start again in the current. What the hell's going on YouTube? By the way, not to be a burden on anybody, but if you guys are watching, please subscribe to our friend JC Allen, and he released a great vid. Speaking of the man, holy shit, speak of the devil, the coincidence. I was just going to plug JC and now the great JC appears, but great interview with Liam Cohen just released today from the great JC Allen. Todd Bowles interview a couple days ago. JC's a great friend of the show's, often appearing on the Buccateers, so go make sure to show JC Allen some love over there. Just wanted to plug that in quick. And also, if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn that notification bell on. So yeah, make sure you finish watching here though. Then when you're done, go over to JC Allen and enjoy some content. But J-Lo, I have one question as well. I know I keep berating you here, but we're talking about rookies. We're talking about reporting to training camp. All this talk about college football, NCAA football video game, Buccaneers rookie wide receiver McMillan put up an Instagram story and said this game's trash. What are your thoughts on that? Have you played the new NCAA yet? And if not, regardless, What are your thoughts? Because that's interesting. You see all the hype, you see all the buzz, you see the kids loving it, some adults loving it, and here you got a Bucs rookie wide receiver saying, "Man, this shit's trash."
Yeah, I saw that post last night. He has his opinion. He's entitled to it. I'm excited for it. I grew up playing it. I haven't played it yet. I plan on purchasing it sometime this coming week and get to it because I've always been a fan of the college football life, playing the dynasty mode and all that.
You gonna
I've
be
heard,
your Gators?
you already know, Gator Nation, baby. That's what it's all about. I don't care about the other teams in Florida. Not at all. Nah. But regardless, I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. As far as McMillan goes, maybe he felt some type of way about things. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I've heard great reviews. A lot of fans are really excited. They've enjoyed playing it. And
We
plus,
do we
go ahead.
do have a comment from our favorite Canadian as well. Hello from Toronto, Canada. Hello, Steppin' Peppin'. But J-Lo, when you get that game, you're gonna have to let the world know if McMillan was right or wrong. Speaking of right or wrong, we have only right answers here. Brandon Walton, Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, and other Bucks doing great community things. Brandon Walton was at a youth practice this week with the great JC Allen of Sports Illustrated and of Pirate Parlay podcast. But Brandon Walton was helping some kids out practice over there. Then you had Baker Mayfield running a camp, being cornerback a little bit in his camp, guarding kids, doing the lockdown. I know Rashad White at his camp not too long ago. Our guy CJ Brewer, when we had him on, his was about a month ago now. But J-Lo, you have to love whether it's Brewer, Walton, Mayfield, whoever the hell it is, you have to love our Tampa Bay Buccaneers keeping the youth involved at such a good pace, such a good rate. Because really, if you never want the game of football to die, the best way to do that is by growing the youth's involvement in the sport.
Absolutely. Role models, those are the players I enjoy the most, honestly. The ones that go, out of their way, in their spare time to go work with young kids, get them prepared for life because, we live in a tough world sometimes, and sometimes things don't work out the way you want to. But when you have role models like that, that's been through it, it's good for the community. I'm all for it. Brandon Walton's a big dude, so good for for those kids over there working with a big guy like that. And the
Yeah, I
fact that
mean, JC looked like a minion next to him. I was like,
oh
what the
man,
hell's going on?
I know, man, he about to get pancaked if he gets on the wrong side, the wrong side of Brandon Walton. But also, it's just so exciting to see Baker Mayfield. I think he's finally found a home here in Tampa, as far as being, our starting quarterback. It just feels great just to have a guy like that working with the kids. And then Rashad White, I've always been a big fan of him. When it comes to the outside community, working with young kids. I'm just so glad we got these types of players on our roster that want to, teach young kids how to be a great, football player, but also a great person inside. So, hats off to him.
As the Godfather's joining us on Facebook as well, James Rubright giving us a salute. Steppin' Peppin says he's hammered already. Holy shit. Well, that's great. That is great, and that's beautiful. And I hope you enjoy yourself on this Sunday being hammered. But you best be careful because it's only whatever the hell time it is in Canada. You're probably same time zones as us, so I'm guessing you're probably 8:45 or 9:45.
5 o'clock somewhere, Tones.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, laying away in Margaritaville. All right, Richie, our guy, and J-Lo, I'm gonna get back to your point after we answer Richard's question about Baker Mayfield being able to stay in the area, and that is being huge, being beneficial for Baker, not only for youth camp involvement, but other things we'll talk about coming up here as well. And once again, shout out to Brandon Walton. Shout out to Rashad White. By the way, Rashad White tweeted at me earlier this week. I'm like, that's my guy right there. That is my fucking guy. He loves the Bucs community. He's always booling. I believe he was on a cooking show at one of the Bucs podcasts earlier this week or something. So good for him. He's always doing his thing. And I know he was in the WDAE studio, so we do love Rashad White. But going from Rashad White to a man who used to move mountains for Rashad White, and he still might, Robert Hainsey, is he going to be involved with the left guard competition? What if he's a better option? I'm going to give my theory, and I'm going to keep it simple. I don't think he's literally legit involved in the left guard competition. And I have multiple reasons for this. They brought in 2 free agent guards, Bredesen from the Giants, Opeta from the Eagles. They drafted a guard in the late rounds, right? So that's 3 guards right there competing for that one spot already. Remember back in the day, I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, people were asking for you know, could Hainsey maybe be the left guard, or could Leverett maybe be the left guard once Jensen went down? But people have to remember the Buccaneers like having a backup center, and they like having a comfortable backup center. So yeah, maybe at the beginning stages, the beginning phases, you might see a guy like Hainsey chomping at the bit, competing for that spot, getting reps in that spot. But at the end of the day, I think the Bucs want to zero in on Hainsey as their backup center. We've had really, really bad luck the past couple of years with centers. Ryan Jensen going down time and time again. And sure, yes, you don't anticipate the same exact scenario happening with the rookie like Graham Barton coming out of the first round in Duke. You expect them to be healthy. However, with that being said, the center really hindered the Bucs the past couple of years, and part of that is repetition. And you're thinking Jensen's going to get it all. La la la. Long story short, I think the Bucs want to have good center depth, and I think they revert Hainsey to backup center role, J-Lo, and I think they kind of let Bredesen, Opeta, and our 5th rounder kind of duke it out for that left guard spot. I'm not saying Hainsey's not going to get reps there. I'm not saying he's not going to get practice time there. But when they kind of format and shape this roster how they want it to be, I think Hainsey's our backup center. I mean, we don't really have another backup center at this time.
No, I agree. With Hainsey at this point, he has plenty of experience at the center position. He can play guard. He can even play tackle if he had to. To me, he's like the emergency backup. God forbid we lose one of our tackles or lose one of our guards. Haynes is a type of utility guy who can come in and help you win football games for the most part. But as far as left guard competition, I think it's just down to Bredesen and Suapeta at this point. And as far as the rookie Klein, I believe
I think he'll be our backup right guard probably.
Yes, he'll be the backup right guard. I think from what I heard, gathered from the great SR from Peter Report, he mentioned that they'll probably redshirt him and let him get his feet wet and all that stuff. As far as getting experience. Then come next year, that's probably going to be his window. But in the meantime, the here and now, I think left guard position is Bredesen and Petta, and then you got Hainsey as a backup utility guy who can play any position on the line. So that's a good thing to have. You want to have depth at the lineman position because we were hurt on injuries last year.
And Walton could play anywhere as well, really.
Yes. Walton can too. I think we're finally fully depth at the offensive line position as far as, experienced guys that can step in there and protect Baker Mayfield and keep him on his feet, Because when Baker's protected, the man will pick apart defenses. That's how smart he really is, if you ask me.
Yeah, Baker is smart. I mean, come on, you're not going to, well, never mind. I mean, there's been a couple examples, but you're usually not going to be a dumb first round pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, again, you do have your examples out there, but they're far and few in between. So we're going to go ahead and, I mean, just based off the last year, seeing Baker in that game in Los Angeles coming in on a Thursday night is WQEE radio station in Atlanta is joining us live on Facebook as well. How the hell are you guys doing? But yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield, you could see the smartness throughout his career in Cleveland. He stepped in and he got the whole city beer, free beer. Remember, they haven't won games in years and years and decades and eons and eons. And next thing you know, Tyrod Taylor got hurt in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield steps in, boom. They win a game, the city gets free beer. He ends up bringing him to the playoffs shortly after. Then he goes to Carolina. Things don't work out. But what the hell did with Matt Rule? What the hell did that guy do right in Carolina? Absolutely nothing. Guy is nothing more than an incompetent college football head coach. Sure, he'll get his recruits, but, I mean, I could go off on him another time, so we'll save that. But then you have him bounce to L.A. on short week's notice. He picks up a pen. He picks up a playbook. A guy goes down. Baker steps in, probably one drive, 1.5 drives in, something like that. Leads that Rams team to victory on Thursday night. Then, last year, he gets to pick where he wants to go. Sure, he could have had a 1 year, 10 million offer somewhere, perhaps 2 years, 15, 16 million somewhere, perhaps. But what did the smart man do? He bet on himself, knowing that his past couple of years, including Carolina and the end to him in Cleveland, where he got replaced by a Looney Tune, Deshaun Watson, who can't stay healthy and can't keep his hands off ladies. But yeah, I mean, stretch out those fingers, J-Lo. But Baker Mayfield, speaking of a good Samaritan, a good citizen, a good example, comes to Tampa, bets on himself, puts his price tag at $4 million. I know that's a lot of money for everybody. Pretty much 99.9% of the world, that's a ton of money. But for a football player, for a quarterback, that is pennies on the dollar. So the smart man bet on himself, and he won that fucking bet. And you know what? He's smart enough again, because now you're seeing these mid-tier guys, like, I'm sorry, some respected people within J-Lo and I's circles have Trevor Lawrence at a top 10 quarterback. Not me. No, the hell I do not. And he got all that money. A guy like him gets all that money, right? What, Dak Prescott's going to make $70 million a year when his free agency appears, maybe. You got guys making $50-55 million like it's nothing out there now. I mean, hell, this is insane. What does Baker Mayfield do again that's very smart? He signs, I know it's a lot of money again, but a $30-35 million quote-unquote team-friendly deal to help the Bucs be a better roster, to help build the Bucs roster better. And now what does this smart man do? Now that he's been in Tampa for over a year, what does this smart man do? He gets in the best shape of his life. I know Baker, yeah, for guys like me and you, J-Lo, he was in good shape last year, but you could tell he had that little bit of a dad bod go. And I'm not saying he was out of shape. I'm not saying he couldn't move or anything like that, but you could tell Baker Mayfield, could get a little more in his prime, get a little more slender. What did he do this offseason? He did just that. He said staying in the Tampa area helped him find some very good trainers because, that must be hard too. You go from Cleveland to Carolina to Los Angeles to Tampa. Where the hell are you going to train? Who are you going to find to train? Now that he's been in Tampa this long, finds a great spot to train, and now he's in the best shape of his football career, he says. And let me tell you, J-Lo, he was already elusive in the pocket last year, and he's hard to bring down as it is. Now he's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit more muscle instead of a little bit more, weight. Not that he had a lot of weight, but this is going to be a better, I'm not saying a different Baker Mayfield in 2024. I'm going to say with Liam Cohen's help as well. We got over Optimus Prime out of here, Dave Canales. That guy's smiling in the middle of a tornado hitting his house. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, he's going to have a better year in 24 than he did in 23, J-Lo. I firmly do believe that. And so does Pepin Steppen. He says Baker will be much better in year 2 with us.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Like I said, he's in the right place, right time at this moment. And now he's got Liam Cohen to help, I think, execute the offense better. No disrespect to Mr. Davy Boy over there in Carolina now. But I think Liam Cohen is a perfect match for Baker. I think we're going to see a lot more consistency running the ball for one thing, because, you got to be able to run the ball to create a balanced offense. And I can't wait to see guys like Trey Palmer and also McMullen getting that offensive scheme to kind of help Mike and Chris out.
I hope Trey wakes up pissed off a lot this year.
Oh, I think he will. I think he probably feels some type of way a little bit deep inside that he has to, compete with McMullen, who I think is going to give him a good run for his money for sure. Absolutely.
I agree with you, J-Lo, on the snaps basis on some formats, but I think they're going to be used a little differently. I think Palmer will kind of be more, sure, yeah, depth chart wise, they'll be competing who's up, who's down, and, some plays here and there, they'll be competing as such. But deep down, I believe, J-Lo, that Palmer's going to kind of be their deep guy, their red zone guy, the guy in certain scenarios where McMillan, they're going to ease in, kind of be the over-the-middle, old type of Godwin receiver. And, I think they'll both find a pretty healthy role on this offense as we do see Richard exit the building. Thanks, Richard. We do hope you catch us later, my friend. Have a great day at work. But what say you on that, J-Lo? Do you think I'm right, or do you think that McMillan and Palmer will kind of be same role, just competing for that role?
I mean, I think it's wide open wherever Palmer plays because he can play, outside, inside. It all depends how it comes together in training camp and the preseason. What Liam Cohen can do with them. And that's why competition brings the best out of everybody. But I do agree with you. They could probably use Palmer in those certain schemes that you were talking about. But I feel that they're going to pretty much utilize him any way they can. And maybe even special teams. I mean, he could play special teams as well. As far as punt return, kick return. But that's a whole other discussion. But for the most part, Palmer in year 2, I think we're going to see improvement out of him. I think he can work on holding the ball more and not fumble because I know he had a couple of bad cases of it. The point is, a whole year of continuity into the league, and now year 2, I think we're going to see a lot more consistency out of, everybody from last year.
Pep and Step, our favorite Canadian, says, does Baker go over 5,000 yards? I say no, because the Bucs are going to run the football. Not that he's going to have a bad year. That's not my impression here, Pep and Stepping, because I think 4,200, 4,300 yards, still a very good year for what we're about to trot out there. I think this is the best backfield that the Bucs had in quite some time. I mean, you look at the depth of the backfield, and in years, it's probably our best since our second Super Bowl. I'm sorry, where we had Leonard Fournette, and Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones should. Yeah, that was a sad story, man. He just went down like a pretzel and never really bounced back up. His career had so much promise, but we had Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy that year. Remember that? That was incredible in 2020. Really deep backfield. Keyshawn Vaughn as well we had. So, you look at that backfield, and J-Lo, our backfield this year kind of reminds me of that backfield, right? Because you have Rachaad White, who obviously isn't as savvy of a vet as Lenny F was at that time, but, he's getting his veteranship. He's getting his feet wet. He could catch balls. He could run. So, Lenny F was an all-around guy, too. Then you have Bucky Irving, the rookie, who was kind of like Rojo, although Rojo was in year 2, but you have a year 2 guy, a rookie guy rebuilding there. Then Chase Edmonds is kind of your LaShawn McCoy, your old OG vet leadership group, kind of giving intel, but he could be a third down guy, maybe, perhaps, yada, yada, yada. Then you got Keyshawn Vaughn over there, and we still have Sean Tucker over here, not saying he's going to play a big role, but I said earlier, practice squad guy. He might be not even making this roster, J-Lo. So at the end of the day, you look at the Bucs running backs. That 4, though, in that order, Rachaad White, Bucky Irvin, Chase Edmonds, and Sean Tucker, pretty damn good running back room to me, and it's the best we've had in a while, and that is one of the reasons why we're going to have Baker play more efficient football than just air raid Jameis Winston 2019 football.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I'd rather take less pressure off Baker Mayfield throwing the football all the time and be able to run the ball consistently, and plus get the ball out to Bucky Irving. I think he might be a little rusty at first because he's getting into the pro league of things. That's why Chase Edmonds can kind of help show him the ropes or help carry that number 2 back role. I'm excited for that. And you can never have enough running back depth. It wouldn't surprise me if they brought in another one just in case. You never know, more competition. But I agree. I think we're a pretty good depth right now at running back. I'm not giving up on Sean Tucker just yet. I feel he battled because he had a little injury bug going on. Then he kind of struggled a little bit during the season to where he didn't see the field at all. So I'm hoping to see some carries out of him in preseason to kind of help prove that maybe, he does belong on the roster, but we'll see. But Rachaad White's the lead guy, attitude-wise. I think he's a great voice in the locker room as well, so like I said, I think we got a good group of guys in the running back field.
Another under the radar thing I like, JLo, is this is our Sunday Fun Day training camp special. We have training camp starting tomorrow for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The season is here, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. Rookies report on the 22nd, which is Monday tomorrow. And then veterans report on the 23rd, just 2 short days away on Tuesday. Football is back, and we will preview Buccateers schedule a little bit more in the future, but we will be live here on Tuesday night as well, bringing you all things from day 2 of training camp or day 1 of everybody being together at the very least. One other thing I look forward to in training camp, JLo, with these rookies and vets reporting, that does help out the Bucs a little bit, is the familiarity with the Tampa area. We have our training camp just blocks away from our stadium. It's really close to Raymond James Stadium where the Bucs do their training camps, and that help cannot be overstated. That can't be overlooked. You know, you have some teams that have to go out of damn area, out of damn state just to do their training camps. For example, Washington Commandos, theirs is in Ashburn, Virginia over there, obviously. Seattle and Renton, Washington, not in Seattle, Washington. So you look around, Pittsburgh is in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, not exactly Pitt. Philly is in Philly, but then a couple others align as well where they got to travel a little bit to get to their places. St. Joseph, Missouri for Kansas City, and it goes on and on and on. Westfield, Indy for Indianapolis Colts. JLo, when you're a rookie and you could find a place where you don't have to travel much, you know, the stadium's right there, the facilities right there. To me, that's a big help. I know some of these places are only an hour or 2 hours away from where the team will be playing on Sundays, but if I'm a rookie in Seattle or, you know, if I'm a rookie with the Commandos, the last thing I want to do is look for a house and then, you know, try and find it somewhere between training camp and the stadium and have to worry about that big ordeal.
Oh yeah, it's a huge relief. I remember when the Bucs used to go practice over in Kissimmee, Orlando area, over at
Disney.
the Disney World Water Sports. Now it's about a good, 45-minute hour drive. But I'm glad that they brought it back here in Tampa. Keep it local for the most part. But I think as a rookie, I think as far as the Bucs case go, it's good that they're close to where they can find a home in Tampa because it's quite expensive down here in Florida to live in. But for the most part, it's a good thing that they keep it local. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Cowboys go all the way to California for their training camp. I'm not mistaken. Don't they go somewhere in California?
They do. They go to Oxnard, California.
Yeah, so I just imagine
at the Marriott Residence Inn. They do it at a Residence Inn.
Just saying, like that's just crazy that a team like that would go far away from the fans because not everybody can travel to California. And, it's not like a cheap flight there.
Wait, that's a lot to ask for your fans to do training camp states away. You got to spend hundreds of dollars. Hey, come out to training camp. All you need is a flight, a hotel, boarding accommodations, travel. Other than that, it's cheap to see a Cowboys training camp.
Shoot, compared to our $10 tickets for the training camp, Bucs tickets.
Man, I mean, you'd have to make a whole vacation to see a Cowboys training camp. It's insane, literally insane. But you know what else is insane, J-Lo? Football is back. Some of the team's rookies have reported a while ago. Some veterans as well. For instance, Baltimore veterans reported yesterday. Their rookies on the 13th. You look through the list. The Bills rookies on the 16th reported. I'm just going over teams that have reported already, rookies or pros. Panthers rookies have reported on the 19th. The Bears rookies reported on 16th. Veterans on the 19th. And then the 20th, the Bengals reported their rookies. So that was just yesterday. Other than that, you got a couple other here and there rookie-wise, but most of the vets really start showing up either the 23rd or 24th, J-Lo. One vet group shows up today. That's Green Bay. Could you imagine that? Hey, vets come on a Sunday. Leave your family on a Sunday. But, I mean, it's here. We're in the heat of the moment, and you've been noticing on social media more and more activity, the highlight clips. It's just a different time of year this time of year, J-Lo, and football's near, and that's what I tell people. Let the anticipation build up. Enjoy the off season because you know it as much as I do, J-Lo. Once training camp starts, next thing you know, preseason week 1 will be here. Once that hits, regular season week 1 will be here. Once that hits, the bye week will be here. football doesn't slow down for nothing.
Nope. That's the nature of the business, you know. Once training camp starts, buckle up. We'll be in gear. You know, you're going to be seeing a lot of preseason games throughout the week and on the weekends. I'm excited because I think our first game's August 10th on a Saturday in Cincinnati. So I'll be getting more pumped up and excited as training camp goes, and hopefully everybody stays healthy.
And we got to talk about the big news before we get to our final word, Buccateers schedule and so much, because reminder, we will be live on Tuesday. This is kind of a tune me up for training camp. This is to get your feet wet with rookies reporting tomorrow. We're here on a Sunday fun day bringing you guys some Bucs talk early on a Sunday. We know not a lot of people have Bucs talk going on right now, so we decided to bring you some. But J-Lo, the great Shaq Barrett decided to retire. I don't know if that'll officially be the end of Shaq or not, if we do see him in the NFL, but he has played 9 long seasons now. He played 4 with the Broncos before coming to the Bucs in 2019 and playing 5 here. And really, he is a menace, or was a menace, I should say. He was incredible on the gridiron. He was an even better person off the field. Holds a single season Bucs sack record in Bucs history. I was at that game when he set that record, I believe, or at least helped set that record against the Colts December 2019. I actually have Shaq Barrett's cleats from that game. I have his gloves from one of his Pro Bowls. I have his nameplate from the Pro Bowl. I mean, this is a guy that'll be remembered in Tampa forever. And J-Lo, I wouldn't be shocked to see Shaq Barrett in our Ring of Honor one day. I mean, he helped reshape this defense. He helped reform this defense. And really, besides last year, the last year and a half where sadly he was hurt, dealt with a lot of off the field misfortunes, I should say. He was battling some, personal life problems. He had a hell of a career, and he won a Super Bowl with Denver, and he won one with Tampa. Pretty damn good stuff for Shaq Barrett, 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, you pretty much put everything out there. 2-time Super Bowl champ for one with the Broncos, one with us. You know, he did a lot of great things here and an overall great personality in the locker room. Him and JPP were a menace in 2020. 19, I mean, Shaq Barrett just, took care of business and got his stats in there, broke Warren Sapp's record, which was held for a long time. And I think that's going to be a while before we ever see something like that again here in Tampa from my point of view. But overall, I'm hoping, wishing him the best. Enjoy your retirement, well deserved. Enjoy your time with your family. Like I said, that's one of the main reasons why he hung it up. He wanted to spend time with his family, 100% more committed. So you can't blame a guy like that, who's had a pretty phenomenal career and will go down as one of the best pass rushers in our time as Bucs fans, that got to play here. So all you can do is just, hope the best, let him enjoy retirement. Hopefully he'll keep cheering for the Bucs, room for us to win, But never say never. I mean, there could be a situation where he could get opportunity, but I think he's pretty much done. I think he's more focused on enjoying life with his family. He's made his money. He's set for life, as far as that goes. So,
And even though he was meant for his fierce pass rushing, even though he was meant to get after the quarterback, he had some iconic interceptions with the Bucs too. Not many of them, but last year, J-Lo, the game, that meant a lot to him against Chicago to seal us the game. He got that pick 6 late in the end zone. I remember in 2019, he had a pretty nifty interception against the Rams, I want to say, where he kind of one-handed that paddy wagon and brought it in. In 2021, he had an interception against the Giants, I might want to say.
Eagles in the playoffs.
Well, I know in the play. I'm just talking regular season here,
Okay.
but playoffs as well. He had a great one, but regardless, playoffs, regular season. The man had 37 and a half sacks from 2019 to 2021 with the Bucs. 2-time Pro Bowler. The year he wasn't a Pro Bowler, he was a Super Bowl champ. In 2022, in 8 games, he still had 3 sacks. So say he would have played 17 games that year, he still would have had 7-8 sacks. 2023, last year, coming back from an injury, missing a game, coming back from the loss of his daughter, rest in peace, had 4 sacks and a pick 6. And I just want to say one thing right now. Shame on you, Miami Dolphins fans. Oh my God, this guy is a professional. I had a freaking idiot, a fucking moron, Miami Dolphin fan, try and tweet at me yesterday, this is unprofessional from Shaq Barrett. You should never sign a. Shut up! Unless you lost your daughter, unless you tore your ACL,
Achilles.
unless you had to move your city, your family a couple cities away right after having a newborn, shut up! You don't know what he's going through. Neither do we.
He's earned the right to make that decision to walk away like any other professional, and at least he did it now, so that way the Dolphins can make other moves to whatever they choose to do. But at the same time, any fan, especially Miami fans, that they want to get involved and talk bad about Shaq Barrett, you know what? Shame on you. Because at the end of the day, he's a professional and he has earned every right to walk away and retire and go spend time with his family. Because family comes first, no matter what.
If you talk bad about Shaq Barrett for retiring, 1, you're a loser. 2, you're a moron. And 3, I hope you get smacked upside the head this Sunday. And I'm just going to leave it at that because you're selfish. You don't see the bigger picture. And Miami has plenty of other. It's, oh my God, the Dolphins. Yeah, we're going to be so bad now. No, shut up. Some of you Dolphins fans were complaining about giving Shaq Barrett a contract. So now I don't want to hear it. Anyway, sorry to get my mini little rant in there, but when people tweet at me, let me pull this tweet up, and then we're gonna get into our Bucs schedule and our final words, just because it is a Sunday and we do have things to do and peeps have things to do. But look at this guy. Let's see his tweet, and he had to tweet it twice because probably doesn't know how to use Twitter that great. Don Murphy at Murph3232. I know what it's like to lose a small child, but I still wouldn't sign with a team in free agency only to retire days before the opening of training camp. Most people will give him a pass because of his situation, but that's not how a professional conducts his business. Again, the season didn't start yet. To me, doing it before training camp is better than doing it right before the regular season or doing it in the middle of the regular season. You moron. You could still do better.
Or during halftime, like that one player did for the Colts, and not because I'm sorry, Buffalo, and walked away at halftime, say I retired. I mean,
Vontae Davis, rest in peace. But
RIP.
Still, people are disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, no, this guy is not disgusting. One of Tampa's best realtors joining on Facebook, David Ferrara. We appreciate you greatly. You're a great guy. J-Lo, you know what I just thought of too? I think if we do a Bucs salary cap GM game in the near future, it'd be fun doing it with like media of the Bucs, some media. You mentioned us earlier, JC Allen, but Buccateers schedule upcoming Tuesday night. We will be live probably around 6:20 Eastern time, but we'll keep you guys up to date on that. First day of all Bucs being at training camp will be Tuesday, so we'll be bringing you guys live there. Then we'll probably take 6 days off, and then that Monday night, get right into it, get into a regular season schedule starting a week from tomorrow, a week from Monday. We're going to be going live pretty much every Monday moving forward and so forth. So Buccateers join us this Tuesday night, 6:20 Eastern for training camp coverage and preview. J-Lo, any final words, any final thoughts for the program on this Sunday Fun Day?
Yeah, once again, shout out to Shaq Barrett. Congrats on your retirement, buddy. I'm wishing you the best, and enjoy your family time. And we're getting closer. Sunday Fun Day. I'm just gonna enjoy the day, watch my Rays beat up on the Yankees again today. Shout out to them for pounding those Bronx Bombers, whatever the hell you want to call them. But for the most part, go Bucs, man.
That was a home run derby yesterday, Yankees, Rays. How about that?
Yeah,
that was awesome stuff. Go Rays, go Cubs. We got Buccaneers baseball or football, Buccaneers baseball. Hell, if maybe they could help the Rays with some at bats. So I know the Rays got 9 runs yesterday, but maybe Vita Vea could be their cleanup guy, hit some grand slams for them, designated hit him. He's in better shape now. So, but no, we got Rays baseball today. Buccaneer football tomorrow. It's Lucky Lucy Sunday Fun Day. Thanks for joining us, Lucky Lucy. We do appreciate it on today's Sunday Fun Day show. But once again, join us on Tuesday night, 6:20 p.m. Eastern Time. You Rays fans, enjoy the game today. Buccaneers football picks back up tomorrow. Rookies report in tomorrow. So we got a fun show on Tuesday night. A lot of fun talks in the near future. And in the month of August, we're going to have former Buck, current FIU defensive backs coach Anthony Gator join us for a Bucs season preview and to see how he's doing at FIU, see how the coaching life goes. But on behalf of the great J-Lo, I'm TAMPATONESS, and the rest of the Buccateers who couldn't make it, probably playing whack-a-mole or something on this Sunday morning. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm about to go golfing with a couple buddies right now. So, yeah, that's why I'm running the hell out of here. But J-Lo, it's always fun with you, my man, and God bless and stay safe on this beautiful Sunday.
Yes, sir. Stay safe, man. Enjoy that golf, man. Get your swing in there. Shoot him again. Bang, bang.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot like 45 than 46, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, you can't even hit the ball 50 yards. Anyways, for those that know or don't know, Emily in the house. See, she was here from afar. Gene wasn't here, so it's always great to see Emily making up for Gene's presence. Gene was here last show looking for Emily. Emily didn't show up. Now Emily's here looking for Gene. Gene didn't show up. Who will win on next week's Survivor? No, I'm kidding. But on behalf of J-Lo, I'm TAMPATONESS. Fire the damn cannons. Go Bucs, go Bucs, go Bucs. We'll see you guys Tuesday night, 6:20 Eastern time. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. It's been awesome. Sunday Fun Day. Oh, Sunday. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was just ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
TAMPATONESS. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.